Hello all and welcome to lesson 8, and we're going to be writing decimals today. Now as always we're going to start with an in focus task, so if you have a look up here I'll read the question out loud. So in focus today it's asking what different numbers can you make? Now have a look over here, you've got some number cards, we've got 1, 3, 0 and 8. And what this question is asking you to do is basically shuffle all those cards around and find all the different combinations of numbers that you can make by placing those 4-digit cards on the place value grid. So you might even want to cut out a piece of paper into 4 rectangles and literally write 1, 3, 0 and 8 and have an actual play around with all the different numbers you can create. So if you'd like, you can pause the video now, have a go at that, write them down as you go, and then come back and move on to the next slide. Enjoy. Okay, so let's learn. The first pupil in the class to have a go at this question is Keisha. Now Keisha, capital K, she makes this number using the digit cards 13.08. Now the digit 3 stands for 3 ones, which we can see here on the place value chart, and it's also been represented in counters here. So we've got 3 of the ones counters. We would read this number as the value of 13 and 8/100ths. Now, if we were to use counters, if we were in school, we'd be able to make this number very clearly. But it's really important that you remember that because there's this 0 here, that's indicating that there are 0 tenths. There are no tenths that can be made with that number. And we've got 8/100ths. So you've got to be really careful with the placing of your digit cards on the place value grid. Okay, so now this is the second person to have a go at our in focus task. I'd like for you to meet Charlotte. Let me just put a C there. So Charlotte makes this number using the number cards 18.30. We know that the digit 3 stands for 3 tenths, as we can see on the place value chart, and we can write that as the fraction 3 out of 10. We also know that we can represent the 3 tenths using 3 of the tenths counters. Now this number altogether, we would read it as 18 and 3 tenths. If you think about it, this number 1 is represented, if we were using counters, as a tens counter, and then this number here would be represented using 8 of the ones counters. I'll just quickly draw that in for you. Oh, that looked like an exclamation, sorry. The 3 here, as we know, is represented by 3 of the tenths counters. And because we have no hundredths, we've got to put a 0 in as what we always call a placeholder, so this column doesn't kind of break down and collapse. So that's Charlotte's take on the question. Okie dokie, so now we've got the third member of the class to give this question a go, and I'd like for you to meet Brian. Now Brian makes this number using the digit cards 08.13. Now in this instance, the digit 3 stands for 3/100ths, which you can see here on the place value chart. You can also see how it would be written as a fraction and how it would be represented using 3 of the hundredths counters. Now 8.13 is read as 8 and 13/100ths. So this is the last classmate to attempt the question, and this is Valerie. After she shuffled all of those digit cards, she placed them out onto her place value grid, and she got the number 03.18. Now, the digit 3 stands for 3 ones, the digit 1 stands for 1/10, and the digit 8 in this case stands for 8/100ths. So we would actually read this decimal as 3.18, but we would also say that it is 3 and 18/100ths. What we're going to do now is I'm going to ask that you click onto the next slide for some guided practice. Guided practice today is basically 6 questions, and it's asking you up here, what does the digit 6 stand for in each number? So let's start with number one. I'm going to go through that with you and then you can have a go by yourself. So we've got this number here, 2.46. Now up here on the top right corner, I have put a little place value chart for you in case you wanted to write the numbers in there to help you out. So let me do that. Let me transfer. So we've got 2.46. So we can see here that in fact the digit 6 for question 1 is representing 6 hundredths. Now I'm going to represent that as a fraction. Brilliant. What I want you to do is I'd like for you to pause this video now. Could you complete questions 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, and then you can click along to the next slide for the answers. Best of luck. We already worked out question 1 of the guided practice, so have a look at question 2. We can see here that the 6 in this number is actually representing 6 tens. Now I'm going to draw a little kind of place value grid numbering up here above to help. So we know that 6 tenths is also the same as 60. If you have written 6 tens, I will also accept that, so don't worry. Okay, question 3. We can now see that the digit 6 in this number actually is representing 6 hundredths, and we have had that answer written as a fraction. Well done. Okay, question 4. The 6 in this particular number is representing 6 ones. So you can have just the 6, or like I said, if you have written 6 ones, I will also accept that. Sorry about my wonky writing. Okay, number 5. The digit 6 in this number stands for what? Brilliant, it stands for 6 tens. We know that 6 tens is also the same as 60. And last but not least, question 6. Gosh, there's lots of 6s in this today. The question 6 and the digit 6 is representing 6 tenths. We know that by either drawing our little place value grid, letters above, sorry, or you might have filled out your own place value chart. Fantastic. Remember, if you've written them as words or fractions, I'll accept both. Now, what I'd like for you to do is I'd like for you to now go to your textbook 4B. Could you now go to worksheet 8 and can you complete the task on page 16? It's only one page of work today, but please make sure you're filling in all that you need to and remembering to write the date. Well done, everybody.